Alrighty guys, so here we go. We're gonna be talking about my trip to London. I'm so sorry that I couldn't vlog while this was happening. So I'm actually going to just talk about it backwards in time. So yeah, let's start from the very beginning. So go to the airport. We got there about 2.5 hours early, and we find out as soon as we get to the airport to check in that Eddie cannot check in because the name on the ticket is not the same as his passport name. So we were going back and forth. It's such a mess. Eventually they figure it out and we're able to board, but we had maybe 20 minutes to spare. So our travel day right off the rope started incredibly stressful. I was stressing out the whole time, but Call of Duty figured it out. Shout out Call of Duty for being so useful. I appreciate it so much. So yeah, now we get onto the airplane, everything's fine. Our next two flights go really smooth. I was really nervous about the plane, the long flight, because I don't do good on airplanes, but I ended up sleeping for a couple hours on the plane, which thank the Lord. I found a super comfortable position with my backpack, and I was sleeping like this on the plane. It kind of worked out. So we land in London about 10:30 a.m. and we leave the airport. We landed in Heathrow, so it's a pretty big airport, and we find our chauffeur. And we find out that we have to wait for a couple other players to show up because we were all in the same van or whatever. That really took a long time because Heathrow was having issues with their baggage or whatever. So it was taking people a really long time to find their luggage. So we had to wait 45 minutes to an hour, I think, in the border patrol or whatever it was called. So we knew that the other people were probably stuck in that line because it was a massive, massive line. So we left the plane at 10:30 a.m. and I think we left the airport at, I believe it was 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. I think it was 2 p.m. that we ended up leaving the airport. So we were there for almost 4 hours after we landed. And then our drive from the airport to the hotel was 2 hours. So we actually didn't end up in the hotel room until 4 p.m. when we landed at 10:30 a.m. So we pretty much just had our whole day at the airport, which I had originally wanted to go see Central London and stuff at that time because we landed so early, but obviously I wasn't able to do that. I was just exhausted and I wanted to sleep at that point. We didn't really do much of anything on the first day that we were there, which was unfortunate, but like I said, at the end of the day, everything went smooth. So it is what it is. So I'm just really happy that I was at the tournament on time. So fast forward to the day where we have our tech check and stuff. I just want to say I had a blast. Tech check and everything was so much fun. This is a weekend that I'm never going to forget ever in my life. It is absolutely still so surreal to me. I got to meet so many people during tech check. Most of the players, we all were chatting and stuff in the player lounge and stuff, and it was really chill because everybody was just excited to be there. And I think we were all just holy, this is a phenomenal event, you know? So we were all just super happy to be there. My teammates were amazing people in person, just online. So during the tech check, I was pretty much getting just pulled to go do either an interview or something like that. I didn't have much spare time or anything, so that was really fun. It was really cool. I got to be behind the scenes and see how everything is taped and stuff, so it's really cool. I feel very blessed to have gotten that opportunity. We were there from 9 a.m. I think, and then we left at 6:30 p.m. Well, I left at 6:30 p.m. and then I went to go eat with my teammates. We had a wonderful dinner. We had some pizza. It was so good. Now, the following day, we had to be up pretty early, not anything crazy, but pretty early. I'm really grateful. I wasn't really experiencing much jet lag, but that day I had woken up at 5 a.m. I was so excited and so giddy because it was World Series of Warzone day. I could not fall back asleep. So I woke up at 5 a.m. just super excited to play. And I was oh my God, today's the day. Obviously, we know now that I didn't do as good as I would have wished I would have done, but it is what it is. I'm still taking away so much positive out of the event. So yeah. The morning of, I wake up at 5 a.m. I cannot go back to sleep, so I just am awake. We have breakfast and we go to the event, and we're there a couple hours before the audience can come in. We get to like play a little bit. We have a couple scrims. We have our tech to make sure that like our streams are going good, our PCs are going good. I feel incredibly blessed that I had a really good my admin or whatever. She was so lovely, she was so helpful. I love her. The entire staff, and I do want to say this, like the entire staff was so kind, so nice, just everything. Like they were the sweetest people ever and so beyond helpful, and it just people that really wanted the event to succeed and to make sure that you needed everything that you needed. Like they were really there for you, so I do appreciate that so much. It was a very like smooth ran event, and I felt comfortable like going up and asking for whatever concerns that I needed. Like nobody made me feel weird. I appreciate that so much. So yeah, we play the scrims, then I go eat a little snack before, and by this point people are coming in and stuff. And yeah, like we're still playing at our setups. We get to play like a little bit of like public matches and stuff just to keep like our fingers warm. And then yeah, the event starts and kind of doesn't go our way, and we adapted too late. Like our game 5 and our game 6 were our best games because we finally just like kind of figured it out, but at that point it was too late. So we didn't place in the money, unfortunately, but it is what it is. And we take this as a learning experience, and hopefully we can apply it to next year if I make it to the land, fingers crossed. Then on our flight back, this was like a pretty rough travel day for me. This one was a lot harder for me. We had our long flight first, and I think our flight was at noon. We left a couple hours. I think we left at like 8 a.m. and the traffic was better on our way there, but we got delayed like while we were in the plane for an hour. And considering that our flight was already 8 hours, that extra hour just added and felt like forever. But then we landed. I barely slept. I probably slept like maybe an hour. Like it was really bad. I was very uncomfortable on that flight. It was not good for me personally. So I was just excited to get out of there. Then we had our connecting flight, and that one was also delayed the same amount that our original flight was delayed. It kind of worked out because we still had the same amount of time like for our layover, and we had to go through like the border patrol and everything. So yeah, it was a little hectic, but not too bad. And yeah, we landed in Nashville and it took us forever. There was so much traffic. So in terms of like my travel days were really long, but everything else was really awesome. And I think meeting everybody, because after the event we were just like outside of the venue talking to so many people and meeting so many wonderful people, and everybody that I talked to was so amazing. I think that was by far my favorite part. In terms of what I know this isn't like really vloggy style, because like I am just like reminiscing over World Series. It's just like it was so busy. I couldn't. My first instinct is not to pick up a camera and press record, which I know like if I want to do this, like I need to get that instinct in me. But like having my phone out and like just recording is just not instinctual to me. So I'm very sorry for the lackluster vlog. I think in terms of like what I would want to see changed next year is have the event longer, so either more games or split amongst 2 days. So it's something like 5 games on day 1, maybe 4 games day 2 plus the solo, so that would be 5 and 5, or just 8 games on one day, you know. I think that would be really nice. Another thing that I would suggest is to have it so that after the event that like we have like, or before, just some time, I think would be really nice to have like a meet the players dedicated like area and time slot, because there were so many people that were at the event that just couldn't talk to me, because after the event ended we were pretty much getting like kicked out of the venue like as soon as possible. I was talking to somebody for like 2 minutes in the bleacher or in the stands or whatever, and like we were getting told like go, you have to go. That like kind of really sucked, because people who wanted to talk to a player or whatever had no means of like actually talking to them. And even when we were outside we were told like you have to move. So like it really didn't allow anybody to like mingle unless you just like kind of lurked around the venue. So I think for next year it would be really nice to have like a time slot of like whether or not a player wants to go. Like if you don't want to go, then so be it, like you don't go. But to have a time slot where players can actually go meet the people who want to meet them and have that dedicated area, so that it's not as like stressful, and like there's people there that went to see me and actually weren't able to talk to me. Shout out Emmy and Ace. They were in the stands literally cheering me on the entire time, but I wasn't able to talk to them. The event was so smooth. It was so awesome. Like as a player to be able to play, I personally did not come into any problems like in terms of like dev errors or anything. I've heard certain people had struggled with certain things, but it was, for me, a phenomenally ran event. This was by far like the most fun I've ever had, the most 10 out of 10 experience. Like it was awesome. It was awesome. In terms of just like London, like bless everybody for welcoming us so nicely. Everybody that I met was so kind. Yeah, I really hope that we get a World Series of Warzone next year. I just feel so incredibly blessed to have like gone through that experience, and I took away a lot from it, and I've learned a lot from it. So hopefully next year I will be more prepared and, you know, compete even better and make more people proud. So yeah, thank you guys so much for all of the support. Thank you guys so much for cheering me on up to World Series and after World Series and everything. It's been a very crazy couple of weeks, couple of months. But yeah, I cannot wait to see what the future holds for us. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and taking the time out of your day to watch this video. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.